Greetings.
Inquiring minds just got to know. Keep your eyes on the horizon. You'll find me wherever the action is.
I've heard reports of reinforcements approaching the Isle. You know Kazalga inside and out. They'll need your expertise.
It's been all quiet recently. I've nae heard of any issues. This seems like a good opportunity for exploration, eh? I'm at your disposal. We can go wherever it is ye want I go.
Loads of forgotten knowledge are within our grasp. Don't do anything I would.
We ought to be getting a whole fleet of reinforcements soon. Just in time, I hear Illyria and Anduin are back in Dornogle. If I know Moira, she'll already be working with them Ty, figure out our next move. She knows how Ty lead like a griffin, knows how Ty fly. Best go find her before she comes looking for ye.
I have a job for you from High Speaker Brintha herself. The Skardin corruption is taking over the Stone Vault. To contain the panic, High Speaker Brintha has asked us for help. I told her she could trust us like we trust the bedrock under our feet. Go to the Stone Vault and remove the Skardin corruption. Let me know when the job is done.
I have heard that your people wage massive battles against one another across huge fields and in crumbling ruins. Seems like a bit of a waste of time fighting over flags when there's proper work to be done. However, the field of battle can test the mettle of a warrior. In that, there is value. Bring me news of your victories. I am open to being impressed.
My directive has been fulfilled. My directive is to serve you. I have calibrated my prices to be
It is an excellent day for a race. Come fly with us.
Isles have awakened.
Opportunity's knocking. If you've got the metal, there are valuables waiting to be won.
Fallside Outpost needs reagents for incense to use at morning rise. Will you accept this new directive and procure them? Honoring those of us in Stasis Lock is important to us. Thank you for your help, Outlander. May your path be unburdened. We must take extreme methods to stop the kobolds plundering Morning Rise. Use explosives to collapse their tunnels. Hopefully that will finally deter them. But if I have learned anything, it's that kobolds always come back.
Titan artifacts. Will you have a go at bringing me some samples? I'd love to go with you, but I'm a little busy here. Thank you for the samples, champion. This will greatly advance our knowledge of the Titans and their technology.
Would you like a
Since you're an honorary member of the theater troupe Adventurer, what do you think about playing a part in our plays? No big parts. I don't want to upset the rest of the troupe by taking away their limelight. You know how they are. Are you available, say, once a week? When I want to be unbound to bring their plays to Dornoble, I didn't know what I would be up against, or that my help would get in the way. My old friend Brockford keeps interrupting us with his perfectionism. We try to build a set, but he stops everyone to inspect each nail. We try to paint. He complains the colors do not exactly match. You get the idea. I think Brockford needs his own project. Maybe cleaning up the proscenium. Go ask him to help him keep him occupied.
get that stage cleared for the next act. We have some play materials that need collecting from the market. I think they want a spotlight. Make it clear they are not getting one. The audience is looking for a show. Let's give it to them.
Looks like there's treasure nearby. And that means treasure hunters.
You've done very well as an actor on stage, adventurer. But as an actor in a troupe, there are other directives we must carry out. One directive is to preserve our costumes for use. Many costumes. I think we can trust you with using and preserving the troops' costumes, don't you think? It would mean you could practice with us more frequently. Excellent. I changed every barrier I can remove between an actor and their directive. Treat the costumes with care. We will be using them in future plays, remember. Good luck. Don't forget you're part of the troupe now.
My adventurer, it seems you have drawn the attention of a particular audience member. This fan letter was mistakenly included in my fan mail. I'm not surprised. Sorting my copious fan mail must be a difficult chore. Here, take it. It belongs to you, of course. I'm sure this is very new for you. I have a few pieces of wisdom for greeting eager fans, if you would like to hear it. We must be careful with fans. We must be gentle with their feelings, but also discourage unwanted behaviors. Kind and gracious acknowledgement of their gratitude is key. A simple thank you note in return is optimal, and if you see them here, it is acceptable to nod and wave. We want our audience to be happy, of course. And, in the event, they bring flowers. I am graciously take that burden from you.
Now that the Keeper is gone, get to work, you blockhead! I decree that you shall triple your production rates, or I will punch you down the core way. Wha-ha-ha-ha!
What is he doing? Dornick's brutality knows no bounds. I have made a terrible mistake. Rise up, my children. You have my permission to rebel against your cruel watcher.
Traitorous Keeper! Wretched Earthen! You will all regret this! I've been struck! I cannot move!
Well done, my beloved Earthen. I promise to never leave you with such a tyrannical master again. Now, drag his husk from this place.
You will regret this, Earthen. My sister Galan will strike you all down.
Do not worry, my Stoneborn children. You will never have a cruel master again. You are my bedrock. You are my foundation. You are my beloved Earthen.
Conversation initiated.
Marvelous. You're the perfect addition to our theater troupe, adventurer. Please come and help us again in our next showing.
What is your command? Faith, order. We must remember both.
Someone didn't get the message. These are earthen resources. We need you to mount a defense. Now that the dust has settled, we can all move on to our next agenda. Expressing gratitude, friends.
I have just the thing, Wanderer. Good fortune to all friends of the Grummels.
Confrontation detected. Fanatics are attacking the earthenworks again. We need to subdue them.
Protect the machines. At last, I rest.
Battle begins. But no more words.
Work delayed.
My task is done.
Work delayed. Protect the machines. At last, I rest. At last, I rest. My task is done. At last, I rest. Protect the machines.
Violence authorized. Battle begins. At last, I rest. No more words.
Work delayed. My task is done. Work delayed. At last, battle begins. Protect the machines. My task is done.
Violence authorized.
Battle begins.
Work delayed.
There's a cache of resources nearby. Find it before you have to fight over it.
Stability restored. Now we can focus on the rest of our work.
May your feet find good trails.
Someone didn't get the message. These are earthen resources. Mission accomplished. Thank you for doing what needed to be done.
Punches, lucky doos and root. Beware of Yeti.
It is a bright day with exceptionally favorable winds. A perfect day for a race. Excellent work. I can see that the two of you will soon be formidable competitors.
The Isles have awakened.
Someone didn't get the message. These are earthen resources.
My darling Weaverats have witnessed accumulating dangers to your precious Arathi. Exterminate the threats. Buy your people more time.
I think.
hate will rise.
Filthy overcrawler!
This war will not be won by armies.
Overcrawler, the plowworms require sustenance. Bring it to them, before they decide you look tasty.
Continue to serve.
Join us, and we can see how your skills are coming along. Excellent work! I can see that the two of you will soon be formidable competitors.
peace. You have no shortage of uses, Overcrawler. The Ascended haunt our upper echelons of power. Perhaps someone unaffiliated with the royal court could find their way into their homes and bug them. Information has always been an exquisite currency in Ashkahet.
step into my parlor?
Thank you for making the trip back down to my humble lair.
A deep chuckle rumbles out from Widow Arachni.
We have got grand plans in store for you. Certainly. I have a little morsel all wrapped up from a corner of my web. Shall I share it with you? It's sure to mean your doom, little adventurer. Very well. I can smell your eager impatience. I've sent that little green blob of a goblin you call Gazlowe off to the northeast. He tells me the Queen and High General are marshalling their elite shock troops. No doubt they are readying to invade Hallowfall. Scurry off to your lamplighter friend. I'm certain she will want to smash everything in sight. One of my weave rats has failed to check in for an unusually long time. I sent Spindle to retrieve information we could use against one of Ansharik's favored wretches, but she has not returned from her assignment. Masque, the Venom Tongue, is a wretch and a sycophant, but he is dangerous all the same. While I have much trust in my dear Spindle's abilities, I fear what a malefactor such as Masque would do to one of my little ones should he find them. Find Spindle. Make sure she is well. The work of the Severed Threads proceeds apace. As such, our patrons have decided to reward your continued dedication. Now take this and be gone. You're drawing suspicious eyes. Rewards you will receive. Valorstone's weathered Harbinger crest. The work of the Severed Threads proceeds apace. As such, our patrons have decided to reward your continued dedication. Now take this and be gone. You're drawing suspicious eyes. Rewards you will receive. Earth-encrusted gem weathered Harbinger crest. The work of the Severed Threads proceeds apace. As such, our patrons have decided to reward your continued dedication. Now take this and be gone. You're drawing suspicious eyes. Rewards you will receive. Carved Harbinger crest. The work of the Severed Threads proceeds apace. As such, our patrons have decided to reward your continued dedication. Now take this and be gone. You're drawing suspicious eyes. Rewards you will receive. Restored coffer key. The Weaver's many eyes lurk throughout the city, learning as much as they can about Anshorik's machinations. Still, intelligence enough will not be sufficient to turn the tide against the Sureki forces. The Weaver requires someone willing to get their hands dirty. Lucky you, I suppose.
Do you remember the logbook you discovered in Zevkal's office? It contained critical information about Zevkal's misuse of our people. I gave to my assistant, Anubok King, to bring to the historians in the scales. I have not heard back from Anubok King. I suspect foul play. So anyone in the scales will admit to having seen it.
The Weaver sent you directly? Somehow I'm now even more concerned. Adventurer, the time has come to deal with the Nerubian army. General Zevkal is massing a sizable force to the east. He intends to breach the wall and invade Hallowfall. There isn't much time. We do not have the strength for an all-out assault. To that end, the Weaver has sent Gazlowe here to assist us. I'm willing to do what it takes to save my people. And as fate would have it, I have a personal matter to attend to while we are there. I am glad to see you are well, adventurer. I have recently received word that a number of the Arachnids have taken shelter in a camp close to where the airship was seized in mid-air. Would you check on them? Some of my people found a few Harroniers setting up one of their camps to the southwest. They were missing some vital supplies, so my people offered to help out. However, I worry about how they're all getting along over there. Could you check in on them? Make sure we're being good hosts to the Harronier, and that nobody has inadvertently offended anyone. Please!
activates are never accidental. They require just the right amount of pressure on a thread.
You carry your torch, you light the city. May the shadows pass you by. Beware of the shadows.
Outsiders are a welcome surprise. Don't despair. The shadows sense it. Keep an eye on the dawn towers. Walk in the light. Find joy in the flame's light.
Is that the best warrior they can offer? Get in there and show them the strength of the flame! crawlers are retreating! Rally to me, and we will finish this fight! We are the Flame's Radiance, defenders of Meroldar, and today, we hold! Decisive and your aim true. May the flame guide you! Sacred flame blesses us with victory. But stay vigilant. The enemy will return to throw themselves upon our blades once more. Victory for the flame's radiance! Take a moment for celebration, but stay on your guard. They'll return soon enough.
like there's treasure nearby. And that means treasure hunters. Watch your back.
The Nerubians are attacking Tanir's ascent. Destroy their siege weapons.
Our airship engineers are running dangerously low on supplies. Recover what tools you can.
There's a cache of resources nearby. Find it before you have to fight over it.
Supplies are pristine and Empire quality. Your work keeps the Arathi army strong.
Nubians are attacking Tanir's ascent. Destroy their siege weapons. siege weapons destroyed. Our stalwarts can repel the attackers.
Join us, and we can see how your skills are coming along. Nicely done! You and your Drake are exceptional.
Use the torchlit with the sacred flame and inspire the Arathi's valor. Remind them of the strength that we all share. fighting against a never-ending tide. Courage can falter, but it never disappears.
New reserves are readying to enter the front lines. Sparring with...
I hear you've come from the surface. Did you meet the Earthen? We used to trade with them, but after the Day of Darkness, we struggled to send envoys. Those we sent never made it back. Honestly, we thought that they had perished. I'm going to try reaching out again. I'd like for you to write a letter of recommendation, in case we did something to offend them. The Arathi truly appreciate all your help in this dangerous land. Please accept this symbol of our gratitude. The Arathi truly appreciate all your help in this dangerous land. Please accept this symbol of our gratitude. The Arathi truly appreciate all your help in this dangerous land. Please accept this symbol of our gratitude. The Arathi truly appreciate all your help in this dangerous land. Please accept this symbol of our gratitude. The Arathi truly appreciate all your help in this dangerous land. Please accept this symbol of our gratitude. The Arathi truly appreciate all your help in this dangerous land. Please accept this symbol of our gratitude. The Arathi truly appreciate all your help in this dangerous land. Please accept this symbol of our gratitude. The Arathi truly appreciate all your help in this dangerous land. Please accept this symbol of our gratitude. Attention, residents of Hollowfall. Urgent assistance is needed to reclaim the shadowed outskirts. As darkness grips countless family farms, your aid is needed to ignite the sacred flame and restore safety to our lands. Thank you. I'll send a runner with this to the Earth. I pray they make it back safely. And thank you for the information about trading with your people. I hope they'll join as well. We haven't been able to gather resources from this area due to hornets moving in. We just haven't been able to spare the resources from the wall to deal with them. If you can, we'd all appreciate it. There is a plant fighter that grows in lung shadow, and the fangs that makes it an excellent food. Because of the hornets, we haven't been able to collect it in a long time, and are running very low in our supplies. While you are in the area, could you collect some?
I'll gather a selection of our major trade goods before we head out for the meetup. But I could use some help in gathering some additional items. Lately, we've been struggling with collecting the best bat meat in Hallow Fall. Could you gather some before you come to Dunel's kindness?
A moment. If you have one of my lieutenants, Shinda Creekfire, did not report in the first bonfire. That may not seem like a large issue to you, but the Arathi in Hallowfall survive only because we follow orders and stand for our brethren. I am not cruel. I do not want to punish a man for his weakness in this terrible environment. Can you find him and bring him back? Take all the time you need.
Greetings, outsider. Beware the shadows. Fierce as always. Your skills are a sight to behold.
Bellador shift in your favor. When the star shifts, seek shelter.
Opportunity's knocking. If you've got the metal, there are valuables waiting to be won.
We are the Seekers of Light.
The Sareki gather on our doorstep. Ready yourselves for the coming battle.
Well-crafted equipment is essential.
Burn those defenses to ash before they turn the tide of battle.
Imperial steel conquered a continent.
Aldrachi. May your feet find good trails.
Flames! The Sareki gather near Mereldar! We need your help!
With an empty stomach, a Ramolith has one directive: to eat. Help guide this one's hunger into a constructive activity. Nothing is better than a leveled field and a happy Ramolith. Thank you, Outlander.
I have an extended supply of goods for Outlanders. My thanks for your patronage. I have calibrated my prices to be reasonable. Return and peruse my inventory.
mine!